We are back with another Warcraft Rumble video. In this one, we are taking on the Siege number 2 of Stormwind, Wing number 2, that is, in the Siege of Stormwind. Before we get into the gameplay, guys, I do want to give a quick thank you to Warcraft Rumble for sponsoring not only this video, guys, but this overall channel. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring it. I'm still very much loving your game and loving creating content for it. Guys, if you want to play Warcraft Rumble totally for free, use the first link in the description of my video. And if you want to see more Warcraft Rumble content, consider subscribing to this channel, guys, because I'm bringing you all the best content to help you progress not only through raids but get to raids if you're a new player. I will have tips, tricks, and guides on this channel, so this will be a one-stop shop for Warcraft Rumble for you. Now let's get straight into wing number 2 of the Siege of Stormwind. Now this is the Tavern Keeper. She is a little tricky. Now in this one I use Sylvanas, and my partner is using Tyrion. All right, so we're getting straight into the gameplay now, so you can see that lots and lots of footmen. So my first thought was get a little bit of AoE damage going on. Now, we did not strategize going into this. Keep in mind that if you don't have an ability of communicating with them in game, with your partner that is, so instead you could join Discord if you wanted to, or just have a pre-plan going into the fight. This gold at the very top, I guess it's over there, chest is one that you're gonna have to get via an unbound unit. You can see that my partner used Maeve, and then we're just sort of slow rolling. He's got a plague farmer there to get some additional range. I'm already getting some damage on the boss with my initial push with Sylvanas and the Witch Doctor. So we're getting some additional damage, getting ready to push into phase 2 actually, and we're also pushing into this tower. You can see that we've almost broken through phase 1. One more hit looks like it would have got us into phase 2. Oh, there it is, phase 2. So I quickly go over here. You can see a bell rings. She kills all of our units, and this giant barrel rolls into. I'm trying to kill it before it gets to my tower, but you can see that I could have probably killed it before it got there, but it immediately wiped the tower, guys. Let's roll back a little bit. So we were able to, all right, so the barrel comes in. You can see that my partner charges in with this guy, and does about over half the damage of the barrel. Now, had I used a spell or done really anything except for just being shell-shocked at what was going on, we probably could have killed the barrel and saved the tower and burned down another phase of this boss. But if you don't kill the barrel before it comes down, it one-shots your tower and does a huge AoE damage to everyone around it. I was just sort of like, oh gosh. Now you can see the boss also rotates to the other side, and you can see another barrel, I believe, comes down. Yeah, another barrel comes down. So now it's like she shuts down a whole lane essentially. So my first thought you could see was to try to take it back, but that barrel once again just wiped it out, and she has minis on her way over there. You can see that she's constantly spawning minis at all times, which is, you know, that makes sense. But you basically stop focusing on one tower and revert back to the other. That's what I quickly learned. You can see I'm still sort of trying to like sneak the tower so we don't totally lose it, because we do have a decent push building up on the left side. But at this point, it would just turn into full defensive mode where I was like, oh gosh, now we gotta just defend this push and do as much as we can. Now, while I'm focusing on defense, my partner is focusing on offense, getting a little bit of damage, and now I'm going back to help. So once again, that chest is up top. I did drop one of my my miner, and so did he, so that way you can share the gold. So every time you mine, you both get 1 gold. So if you have 2 miners going, you're both benefiting from that gold. So again, just not able to get this tower, but still trying to keep it relatively in balance. I was able to pick up that treasure chest there, but the barrel hit it. We had another barrel hit us. So I don't know if it's time-based or what, but another barrel cleared us off that tower. And you can see Maeve jumped in there. Now she's on the right side. So phase 2, essentially, she walks back and forth with a certain amount of time and just wipes your tower. So you have to just constantly adjust your focus and maintain your gold income as much as you can. So you can see that now we have a little bit of a push going. Sylvanas is able to really clear off the ads that are spawning all the little chickens. She just cuts right through them. But there's the bell. Okay, we did burn her into the final phase. We did a ton of damage in this phase too. Tons and tons of damage. You can see unbound units are king in this fight for sure. But now we've lost both the towers. So you can see he has another unbound unit. He has Maeve on the boss. And that's where, guys, I mean, you know, the first wing, any leader would have worked. In this one, Maeve in a full unbound deck, I honestly think is hands down the best choice, because she moves from side to side, and your towers will just be obliterated. Look, there's another tower. So had we had that, it would have obliterated again. You can see that more and more ads are spawning. So honestly, I think that going full defense and then using unbound minis to be your aggression is the best play. I did also get a lot of value out of Meat Wagon. So this is two raids or it's two sieges in a row where Meat Wagon was actually like super beneficial, especially with the additional range that we had. So you can see that the boss has, I mean, like no health, but I don't have any unbound units except for my cool barrel, and that's it. So we're trying to get these towers. We're having like little to no luck. And finally, I noticed that he had his Maeve up to the top, and I was like, wait a minute. I could put my cool barrel with a poison, which again, like I said in my last video, guys, the poisons and the burns are so good in raids and sieges because it helps just take down the boss's health after just hitting it once. So take my advice, guys. You apply the burns, apply the poisons, go damage over time to just burn down bosses. Because even if your mini dies, once you have that poison, like my cool barrel could have died here, and we would have still been able to win because of the poison. Now, let me go ahead and finish this fight for you. So I noticed what he's doing. He drops the Maeve. I drop the cool barrel. We're able to kill her nice and easy. So unlike the first wing, where you really wanted a just massive death ball going for you, in this one, you absolutely want to have the ability of putting unbound units wherever you want. It'll allow you to control the gold. It'll allow you, let's go ahead and go in here and collect all the goodness. You can see it's actually 5, and it's almost 5K experience, which was pretty sick. I very much enjoyed that. So very much worth doing. If you didn't know already, the sieges are super, super awesome for prepping for the raids that are coming. So make sure you do them, because this is like a ton of experience that you get just for being the wing number 2. And then obviously we're going to talk about wing number 3 here in a little bit. But going back, guys, this chest here in the middle is only obtainable if you have the tower, and then you get like, you drop a mini like right here where I'm you can't see where I'm pointing, but to like the farthest right corner of the tower, so that way you can get close enough to get it. But at the same time, you're constantly have minis going there, so I would honestly recommend just a truly unbound Maeve deck, high burst damage, and then just make sure between you and your partner you're taking turns keeping an eye on the base, because you can get easily overwhelmed. Now, the only weakness to a full Maeve deck is that I would not recommend 2 Maeve decks. You know what I mean? So if you can coordinate with your guildmate, don't get 2 Maeve decks. Have at least one who's focusing on boss damage, and then have the other deck be basically anything else that just focuses on defense or maintaining towers. So the taking of towers can be a little hard for Maeve decks, especially when you're like struggling to fight over them with the added units being dropped on you all the time. So I truly think having one leader that one individual that focuses on taking towers and maintaining them, and the other person just does a full Maeve deck on this one, and no matter where the boss moves around, you can just drop minis on them constantly. Just do poison, fire, whatever you can. You know, poison with cool barrel, the fire, the burn with the hatchling, the eggs. You know, just so much different damage you can do. I would highly recommend doing that. Now, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I am loving these 3 different fights. And again, if you want to see more Warcraft Rumble videos, including stage number 3 or wing 3 of the Siege of Stormwind, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you want to join me and play Warcraft Rumble totally for free, make sure you use the link in the description, guys. And until next time, I hope to see you in a video soon. And once again, thank you so much for Warcraft Rumble for sponsoring today's video and the channel. Take it easy.